Hey everyone, today I'm inspired to talk about words, labels and meanings. When we're born a blank slate, pure being of divine light and love, a bundle of joy that knows they're whole, complete and existing in joy all the time. Just like when you buy a new iPhone, for example. It's completely blank, knows it's a phone and can't do much else. It's a phone, right? And then you start downloading apps, app after app after app. And then the storage gets really full, the phone starts going slow, and it's not even really a phone anymore. It does all these other things. It's pretty much how we are as humans. We're born this blank slate, and then for the first 7 years, we slowly add on, well, it's not even slow, quite quickly, we add on all these concepts and ideas from the external world, society, environment, conditioning, programming from parents, caregivers, friends, everything on the external for the first 7 years. And then at age 7, the download is complete. And then we just play and play and play, repeat every day, the same, like a record. We internalize that as who we are, everyone else's concepts and ideas. Anyway, and all those ideas and concepts come from labels and meanings and beliefs. It's just one generation downloading onto another. So, but without meaning and without these beliefs, words are pretty powerless, to be honest. I'll give you an example. When I was 4, my dad transitioned, and it's actually my first memory. Well, my first retrievable memory, I should say. And I was told that I was just running around joyfully, dancing and singing, "My dad is dead, my dad is dead." Because no one had told me what dead meant. It had no meaning. I had no clue where he had gone. Therefore, I must have presumed that dead was a place. So without meaning, it's pretty useless. Like if someone's speaking in a foreign language to you, or in a language you don't understand. I don't like the word foreign. Whatever they say has no meaning. You can feel the frequency behind it. Like you can feel the tone. You know if they're cursing at you or if they're speaking sourcefully from a kind place, from a place of joy. You can tell, but you might not necessarily know what they're saying. So why do we give these words so much meaning? Because we've practiced it. Whatever we practice is what we get good at, except that we practice things that are not good for us for the first 7 years, and then we carry on doing that until at some point we get curious as to why we're in these loops and patterns, why we keep getting triggered by certain people or things or words. And then we have a choice. I mean, we always have a choice, to be honest, but we just forget that we have one. We have a choice whether to investigate and use it as an opportunity for growth, and to reclaim our power back and our energy, because we keep leaking all our energy, just giving it away like free money, with all these meanings and labels getting triggered so easily. So much separation is created through labels and meanings. Like, why do we do that still? You know, don't we know better? Yeah, but it's not to judge. It's not good to judge. But that again, where did judgment come from? Yeah, it's just funny how all these labels and meanings have so much power over us, and it's just a word, and it's someone else's belief, and it's someone else's description and their conditioning, and you're agreeing to that. Or I'm not exempting myself at all from all this. It happens to all of us. And then we agree to it and we buy into it. We wonder why we're fucking tired at the end of the day after, being around others. Yeah. So on this spiritual journey where we recognize that certain words, and they're usually associated with a story, when you really start having a look, it's like, why did that word trigger? Because it has a story attached to it, and that story is usually negative, some pain or suffering that was caused to us. So we go right back into that story, and we're not at all responding to what's happening now, or the person, or the environment, or the circumstance right now. Yeah, so by practicing that pause button, resting in the gap, so that you recognize and remember you have a choice, without judging yourself for when you fuck up, and go back into it. Because it takes practice to reverse what you've done for most of your life, if not all. Believe me, I know. I'm learning to be more compassionate with myself. Or to be compassionate for a start. Yeah, I've always been very hard on myself. So not to judge at all. But yeah, I felt like sharing. It's been really relevant today. Thanks for listening.